My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Hey y'all, so this video is going to be pretty straightforward. It's about things that I want that I'm not going to buy. Kind of like a really specific anti-haul. I'm definitely not the first person to do this. I know that Georgia Harris did one right around the holidays. I think it was makeup that I want that I'm not going to buy. I will link that video down below. I think that's the only one that I know of, but there are probably more like this. If you know of one, please do mention it in the comments. Before we get into the meat of the video, I did just want to touch base about my upcoming video on corporate ethics. As many of you know, I'm not only tracking what I spend this year, I'm also paying attention to where my money goes when I spend it on makeup, skincare, clothing, and homewares. So my plan is to have a video at the beginning of every month in which I tell you what I spent my budget on during the previous month, and then also to have a video that talks about where that money went. So basically a video reporting back on the ethics of all of the businesses and corporations that received any portion of my budget during that previous month. So for January, the first video is already up. It was up a while ago, but the second video, the one tracking where the money went, it's just taking a lot longer to get the information organized than I expected it to, partly because I'm busy and also just because it's a huge project. And I wanted to touch base just to let you guys know that I haven't dropped the ball. I haven't decided not to do that side of the project or something. I'm doing it. It's just taking a little bit longer than anticipated. And the other thing, speaking of corporate ethics, that I wanted to talk to you guys about in the intro to this video is this amazing top. I'm gonna try to show you see if you can get the full picture. So it's asymmetrical, kind of draped on this side, and it has this gorgeous origami inspired collar, just stunning. So this top is by an amazing designer named Lisa Q, a recent discovery of mine. And I actually reached out to the brand because I came across the website and I fell completely in love with the clothes and also with the overall ethos of the brand. As you know, I am very enthusiastic about using this platform to raise awareness about women artists who are doing beautiful and empowering work. So I wrote an email to the brand through like the customer service form on the website, and a day later I got an email from Lisa, the designer, and I was totally starstruck because I really, really respect her work. So I'm super excited to be able to try out a couple of pieces. Lisa picked a couple pieces out for me and sent them along. This video isn't sponsored. I'm just talking about PR basically. I'm just showing you guys this stuff, and I just really wanted to tell you about the brand. What really impressed me when I started looking through the website and what caused me to want to contact the brand and just tell them that I'm into it is that the clothes are sharp and professional, but they are also sculptural, fashion forward, and feminine. Sometimes I feel like everyone in fashion is trying to envision work appropriate garments for women that are commanding and professional, but without being masculine, basically. And I feel like I have rarely, if ever, seen it done as well and as luminously as Lisa is doing it. I also think that this kind of work, design like this, is a more important component in contemporary feminism than most people give it credit for. I feel like a badass woman needs clothes to wear that reflect the level of her power, but that don't make her look like just a weird version of a businessman, if that makes sense. Because she's not. She's not a version of a man. She is a version of herself. Sometimes I think, and I think about this a lot, you guys, like this is what I sit around thinking about. I think that a woman in power is her own creature. And we as a culture are still trying to paint that image. We are still trying to conceive of that creature. It's like we're still working on defining that paradigm so that we can truly and fully invest in and believe in and vote for that creature, that woman. And like it or not, clothes are a really important part of those kinds of paradigms. And this is part of why I think that fashion is so interesting and so much deeper of a subject than we often consider it to be. Anyway, we really went there. I am stepping off of my soapbox now, but If you are not on a no-buy and you are a woman with a healthy income from a high-powered job and you are in search of clothing that reflects both your softness and your strength, then Lisa Q might be a good fit for you. They are sweatshop free, ethically produced, woman owned, and the garments are very, very, very high quality. And again, this isn't sponsored. I'm just really into Lisa Q, and I'm very grateful for the chance to try out some of the garments and to be able to report back to you that they are truly amazing. And I'm going to be styling this piece and some of the other pieces that Lisa sent on my Instagram. So if you are curious and you want to see more Lisa Q on me, just make sure you are following me on Instagram. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, the first thing that I'm not going to spend my budget on is that Polène bag. $400, I just can't do it. That's 2 months of my budget. If you don't know, for some reason, I'm on a strict budget this year for makeup, skincare, clothing, and homewares. The budget is $200 a month. And I have talked a big game about saving a chunk of my budget every month and then partway through the year spending what I had saved all at once on a Polène handbag. Polène Paris is a small company that makes this gorgeous bag. I'll show some pictures on the screen. I'm 2 months into budgeting, 2 months into learning what it means to only have this set amount to spend on everything in all of those categories. And that includes my replacements, it includes my basic skincare. I think that one of the things that sort of decided it for me is that I was using my lotion P50 the other day. I use it a couple times a week. It's a really powerful skincare product. It's an acid, and I kind of depend on it to keep my skin bright and exfoliated and to help keep acne at bay. It's just a great product that I never want to be without. And I'm not even much more than halfway through the bottle. It lasts forever. It's going to be a really long time before I have to replace it. But I picked up the bottle and I looked at it and I thought, I'm going to run out of this. And then I'm gonna have to replace it. And it's something like $75 to replace the whole big bottle. And yes, that works out to a pretty reasonable amount per year. And it's something that I'm happy to spend. And I think it's a good price per use and it's a good price per year. And I don't begrudge lotion P50. I don't begrudge it its price, and I'm not unhappy about buying it. But when it comes time, that's going to take an $80 bite out of my $200 budget for that month. And honestly, that's the kind of thing that I need to be saving my money for. My baseline is expensive. I need to make sure that there's a bit of a cushion built into my budget just to account for the stuff of life, the nice stuff that I want to be able to repurchase without stressing about it when it comes time. And I think what I'm getting at is that just 2 months into my budget, I've learned that I can't afford a Polène purse right now in my life. Even though technically I could save it, I could save the $50 a month and then 8 months into the year I could buy the purse. Technically I could afford it. I don't feel like it's my lifestyle right now to be able to afford one. And I think that's correct. I think that's the right feeling. That is good. And it's interesting that the no-buy year didn't teach me that, because at the end of the no-buy year, I was like, my budget, it's this magical amount of money and I can do whatever I want with it and I can save it up and spend it all at once on this amazing, expensive thing. But 2 months of budgeting taught me that that would be unwise, I feel. Even if I could manage to save the money, that spending it like that feels like it would be unwise. And it's also maybe just that I don't want it enough. As much as I do want it, and I do want it. Oh, do I want it. There are like 3 or 4 different colors of that purse on my wish list permanently. I want it, but I think I just might not 2 months of my budget want it. I think I just don't want it more than I want to be able to replace my lotion P50 at the drop of a hat. I almost feel like it would be smarter for me to just put that money into my savings. If I'm capable of holding back and saving all that money, I kind of feel like I would just want to put it into my savings. given my current station in life. The second thing that is on this list is the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette. I still want that palette. I have wanted it ever since I first saw the preview on Trend Mood months and months and months ago when I was filming a Do I Want It video, feelings about new releases during my no-buy year. I just think it's gorgeous, and it's very me, but it's also not necessarily indicative of the exact looks that I always do. I feel like it's on the line between my comfort zone and not my comfort zone. It's like a me that I would like to explore more deeply. So it's one of those palettes that triggers my desire for expansion of my artistry and makes me just feel these tingly feelings of like, ooh, what could I do if I could get my hands on that? I've also never tried the Kevyn Aucoin formula, so naturally I'm curious, and I have swatched it in store and it is beautiful. I want it, but I am not going to buy it, and it's for two reasons. One, it's just too expensive for me to buy when I have a beauty budget of $200 a month. I think it's $68, $70. It's well over a quarter of the budget. It's a big chunk of half of the budget. That's how I think of it. And I learned last month, and I'm learning again this month, how very fast that budget goes. It's like a little thing here and a little thing there that I genuinely need, things that I need to replace, a little thing here and a little thing there that I want, poof, it's gone. So to spend $70 of that budget in one chunk on eyeshadow, which is something that I truly do not need more of, like cannot justify in any corner of my mind, even the corner in which the artist in me is throbbing to try the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette, it's just too much coin. And the other thing is, I could dupe the vibes. I could dupe the vibes of that palette. I mean, what's in there? Golds, shimmery, lilacs, mauves, creams and light pinks. Like I have eyeshadows that are those colors. I don't think I have all the colors. I think I don't have a dark, grapey, plummy, metallic. I think I could dupe the vibes, but I don't think I could dupe the palette. So there are definitely shadows in there that I don't have, but I do think that the majority of the looks that I would create with that palette, I could create using the eyeshadows that I do have. That's what duping the vibes means. And when I sit down and I really think about that, I think, you know, why don't I just collect a bunch of singles that have similar vibes and put them together in a pan? I have yet to do that, but I bet I could, and I probably will. And that would probably take some of the sting out of the fact that I'm definitely not going to buy the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop palette, even though I want it. Brief honorable mention on the heels of that one, the Viseart Liaison palette, the purple palette that Viseart just released. I want it for the same reason that I want the Nude Pop palette. Those purples, those cool transition shades, those kind of gray mauves. It's not really grayish, it's like gray mauve, grauve, may? I'm one of those people who's always wanted to try Viseart, but never has there been the right palette for me. Like they've never released one where I'm like, yeah, that's my one. And so I've never been able to spend the money because it's never felt like it would really potentially be worth it to try the formula. But the Liaison palette is almost it. There are a bunch of colors in there that are ones I would reach for a lot. I would be excited to get my fingers into it. I would be excited to create some looks with it. And my reasons for not buying it even though I want it are the same as the Kevyn Aucoin palette. It's just too much money, and I have most of those colors already. I could create all of the looks that I was going to create with the Liaison palette with the palettes that I already have. So what would I be buying it just to try the formula? Even though nobody's gonna know what is on my eyes, and I do enjoy already the eyeshadows that I have. All right, here we are getting real. We are getting into some deep history of Hannah Louise Poston on YouTube. Do you remember my beloved snakeskin hobo Lauren wallet that was stolen and I couldn't replace it because it was on a no-buy year? I ended up using a little pouch here, my old phone case. I used it as a wallet, and I'm still using that as my wallet. I'm still using my phone case, and it's fine. I thought I was going to buy a replacement for that wallet as soon as the clock struck midnight on December 31st/January 1st. I thought it was going to be the first thing I did. I thought that for a long time before I decided on my budget. And I had picked out the one that I wanted, that I want. It's the same wallet, but instead of being snakeskin, it's green hair on hide. It's my dream wallet. And it's no longer available. It's discontinued. It's from an old season of hobo wallets, but it's all over Poshmark and eBay. It's definitely something that I could buy, but I haven't been able to find it for less than $100. And I just can't do it. I just can't spend half my budget at this point in the year. I don't feel safe. Isn't that weird? I don't feel secure spending half of my budget on something that I don't technically need, because I'm fine. I have my phone case, I'm using it. It's not like I just have loose cash in my purse. You know what I mean? Like, I have something that functions as a wallet. I miss my old wallet. I really want this one. I really, really want it. It's clearly the one for me. But I didn't buy it in January and I didn't buy it in February, which is really telling me something. It's telling me something about how much I want it, because I'm like, I really, really want it. I want it so much. I know that I want it. I know that I would love it. The old me, the part of my brain that's like, buy the thing you want a thing so that you can buy a thing, right? That old part of my brain is like, yeah, it's the one, it's the one. But my budget is bringing me to a screeching halt because there's something about the amount of money. It's so concretely real in the context of the confines of the budget that the part of me that's screaming like, yes, it's perfect, why wouldn't you want it, is being muffled by essentially reality. It's being muffled by the fact that I have put artificial confines in place. And when I say artificial, I mean that they're artificial because I have more than $200 in my bank account. Like, I could spend beyond the 200, but I've put these confines in place. They're artificial, but they're also an accurate representation of what I genuinely should be allowing myself to afford at this time in my life, given what I want for my future, given the fact that I want to save. So it's like they're artificial, but they're also really very real, because that money is in my account and I could spend it on the wallet, but I can't technically afford it and also afford the future that I want. Oh, the next one on the list. This is such an emblematic one. The Aquas hair turban. I really want the Aquas hair turban. It's a hair towel you put over your head and twist your hair up in, and then it elasticizes at the back so you can bind the twist, and you just look all sleek and spa-like and wealthy after you wash your hair. I want that turban, the Aquas turban, the bright white waffle weave one that's incredibly beautiful and luxurious, and it's like $45. And here's the thing. I have a hair towel like that. I have the Turbo Twist. I got it at Ulta years ago. It came in a 2-pack. There was a white one and then there was like a pink flowered one that I gave away because I couldn't stand having that in my life. It's really gross and grungy and old. It's a little gray. I did wash it with bleach, but it didn't come out bright white. It's still grayish, grimy. It's pilly from being washed so many times, but it is perfectly functional. It is perfectly fine. It is functioning in the exact way that it's supposed to function. It's absorbent. It stays on my head. It holds my hair up. It's fine. It is so fine. But I want the shiny new fancy name brand one. I mean, Turbo Twist is a name brand. I think it's like as seen on TV, but I want the Aquas one. I want the one that Michelle Wong talked about on her channel because it's luxury. Needless to say, I'm not going to buy it. I thought about it. Again, it was like at the end of my no-buy year. It was on the list of things that I was like, I think I'm probably going to buy this when I've got my budget to spend. And then when I actually had my budget to spend, I was like, a quarter of my budget on a hair towel when I already have a hair towel? Girl, no. It's no longer on the list of things I'm considering buying, but I do want it. I would love to recycle my old one and have a blindingly white, shiny new one. I would just love that. But there are so many things in my life that I would love to replace with a shiny new one, that I have habitually been replacing with a shiny new one all the time, that's where a lot of my money has been going for my whole adult life, is just wanting the next best thing, wanting the next new thing, wanting a new one when the old one is still really fine. Like, it's like that with lipstick, it's like that with furniture, it's like that with clothes. I have so much. I mean, this is like where the no buy year even came from. I have so much. And during the no buy year, I stopped replacing my old stuff with new stuff. I only replaced something when I ran out of it completely. Like, I only bought soap when I literally had no soap. But I didn't replace my t-shirts, I didn't replace any of our stuff in the house. Pots and pans that are getting old, rugs, computer chargers, yoga mats, all the kinds of things that were like, I really want a new one. My old one's so old. I totally stopped the behavior of replacing that type of item. And I think what happened is that going a year without replacing any of my old stuff got me really, really comfortable with living with old stuff, old worn out stuff that's still working. I mean, not worn out, because worn out implies that it's worn out such that it no longer does its job. But I'm talking about stuff that's worn, worn, but not worn out. And who did I think I was replacing worn stuff that was still functional? I'm not a wealthy person. It's nice to have one beautiful new thing here and there. It's a nice perk, but the lifestyle of always getting a new one, that is no longer my lifestyle. It never should have been my lifestyle, but it was. And the no buy year totally broke me of that. And I feel like this hair towel is an emblem of that. I want the Fenty lip paint in the shade Unbutton. It's the very, very light shade, the lightest one. I'm just into really light nude lips right now because I didn't have any very pale nude lipsticks. I really didn't have any nude lipsticks. It's like a category of lipsticks that I didn't understand before. And then during the no buy year, I developed an appreciation from a distance because I couldn't buy any for nude lipsticks. And now that the no buy year is over, I'm like wanting to gather together nude lipsticks because I feel like I don't have any, or I didn't have any. I have some now. I have plenty. The point is, I like Fenty. I'm always drawn to the releases from Fenty. I have a Stunna lip paint. I have the red one, the original one, and I like the richness and the color of the formula, and I just like the packaging. I just like it. I like it and I want it, and I have that part of me that's like, yeah, I want it. I want it. I want another one. I want that one. I want the color that would look really good on me. I almost never wear the one I have because it's so messy. I love the color. I actually really love that red lipstick. It's one of my favorite reds on me. I frequently want to wear it and don't because it's so messy and it's really hard to get like a precise lip line, and it gets all over my teeth, and it's so pigmented that it continues to transfer everywhere throughout the day. I have one, I almost never wear it, even though I love the color. So why would I buy another one because I love the color, knowing what I know about my relationship with the formula? I don't want to buy a piece of makeup anymore unless I hope and believe that it's going to become a cherished favorite. Oh, let me tell you guys about this sweater. I want this sweater. This is pretty simple. I want a sweater and it's too expensive. There are other things on this list that I'm not buying because they're too expensive. That's this sweater. It's from the brand COS, and COS is actually another, like Lisa Q, it's a brand that makes clothing that's sculptural and modern, but also professional, and could also work for women in a professional environment. And they make men's clothing too. Really, really interesting pieces. There's a COS right near my workplace in downtown LA. And I walk past it every day on my walk to work. A couple of weeks ago, I was walking past it, I looked in the window, and I saw this sweater. And obviously I'll put a picture of it on the screen because I can't do it justice just describing it. It's so amazing. It's textural ribbed wool knit, but it's ribbed in this strange bulbous way that cascades down the body. It's very strange and beautiful, and that texture just gets me every time. I love wearing sculptural textural things. It comes in black. Black was the color in the window that caused me to stop and go when I was walking down the street, but it also comes in kind of a beige color that I love to wear, and I love knitwear in that color. I want both. I can't decide which one I would get if I were to get one. They're both so beautiful. This sweater has really captured my heart, and it's $125. And there's just no way. And again, I'm gonna say this sentence. Here's the sentence that I wanna say. I cannot afford a sweater that costs $125. That's not true, right? Because I have $125. I could go and buy it. What's more, my budget for the month is greater than $125. So I could buy it and still be within my spending money budget for that type of item. What I mean to say, and what I believe is actually closer to the truth, is that I no longer conceive of myself as a woman who can afford a sweater that costs $125. I used to. That used to be within the realm of what I would spend on clothing. Old Hannah, pre-No Buy Hannah, would have already bought that sweater. Even if I only had a couple $100s left in my bank account, I would have already gone and bought it because I conceived of myself as someone for whom that was not too expensive. I have retooled the map of my life in terms of my future, my finances, my income, my savings. All of it has been reorganized, reoriented, and it's just canceled. In my brain, that sweater is just canceled. Me spending that much on that sweater, it is just canceled. It's no longer my life. It's no longer my truth. And I want it as much as I've ever wanted any beautiful sweater, but I'm just not gonna buy it. All right, and the last thing that I want, but I'm not going to buy, it's those beautiful earrings that I rented from Rent the Runway, those lily earrings. The brand is called Lili Sadugi, I believe that's how it's pronounced. They are like these purple swirled lucite lilies that attach to the ear with jewels in the middle. I'll insert the Instagram photo of myself wearing them. They are so beautiful. I think they cost around $200. They might be on sale for closer to $150. And it's just the same story. I'm not going to go on at length because I told the whole tale with regards to the COS sweater. I've never loved a pair of earrings more. How's that for a perfect iambic pentameter sentence? I've never loved a pair of earrings more. And again, old Hannah would have been so fully in the grip of her vision of herself as being someone who owns something so beautiful and unique that she would not have been able to resist buying them. I just know how I was, and I would have just needed them. I would have needed them to feel okay, to feel complete, to feel that high, to feel like I was manifesting my best self. I don't know. I would have had the compulsive need to buy them. Or I guess it's more fair to say I would have talked myself into it. I would have talked myself into it because I wanted them so much. And I did really want them. When I rented them and I put them on, I was like, I really, really want these. I really wish that I could buy these. I wish they weren't so expensive. I wish I had a bigger budget. I wish I hadn't already spent my budget. Like, you guys saw me talking about them. I loved them. But the sting is completely gone. I wore them, I sent them back, and I still want them, but it's this like vague, watery want where it's like, yeah, those were really beautiful and I would really enjoy wearing them some more if I had a pair of my very own, but I'm happy like this. I'm fine. Like everything, I'm fine. And that is it. That is the end of my video about things that I want but that I am not going to buy. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know of one thing that you want that you're not going to buy. And if you feel like sharing why you're not going to buy it, I would love to hear that too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will remember to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.